thank you for joining us today. So, for all of you who are watching this, whether it's live or um, later on, huge thanks for you guys tuning in and checking out our stream. The fun fact for last week's stream was we've had just under 200 views between the live audience that watched and then a lot of people watching it after the fact, and that's a total. Now I realize 200 views is not, in the grand scheme of things, a big number for a stream, but it means a lot to me. So thank you very much. I appreciate all of you. Now today is January the 11th, and we're going to talk about a few different things. We're going to talk about the Lexington Toy and Comic Festival for 2026, which we have secured our space for. We're going to talk about that a little bit. We're going to talk about the Art by Humans magazine project, which again, I'm hoping to finish the formatting tonight, which will not be done on camera. I'm going to try and finish that up this evening. It might run into the wee hours a bit, but that's okay. And we're going to talk to also about some things with regard to crowdfunding. So that should be fun as well, particularly with regard to like the business end application on a couple of things. You'll see that as we go through. Now, let me get the chat up. Please remember, if you have any comments, any questions, any criticisms or concerns, please do feel free to go ahead and put them in the chat. We will engage with that, of course. And let's go ahead and make sure that we are showing up in our designated spaces. Okay, so we are live on X/Twitter at Outstanding. And let's go ahead and check the YouTube. I think we've got this down pat pretty much so that it's showing up real well, but I just want to make sure because there have been some problems in the past. All right, let's see what we got here. It's live on Facebook as well. Huh, we're showing up pretty clean too. All right, outstanding. Let's go ahead and close that down so that we don't make a mess of things. All right, so where are we at here? Let me get this in front of me. We are, and by me I mean Snowpa Publishing, myself, my kiddos, which is always fun, and then probably my godson and a few of my closest friends are going to be at the, let me get this, the Lexington Comic and Toy Convention, March 26th through the 29th in Lexington, Kentucky. Now, this is at the big arena, the Central Bank Center, which is, basically Rupp Arena, for want of a better way to put it. But the Central Bank Center is a huge amount of space. Now, comparably, like comparing this to like New York Comic Con is like probably 4 times this size. Actually probably more now I think about it because of the multiple levels that New York Comic Con has. So probably we'll call it 10 times just as a rough estimate, the size of this. But every time I've been to Lexington Comic and Toy Convention, and I've been every year, have I been every year? Let me think. No, not every year we've been in operation. So we didn't go the first couple of years we were in operation. And then 2025 we weren't there because I didn't get the notification in time. But that was on me. Or no, 2025 I got the notification late. I just didn't get registered in time. But we've been there multiple years, 4 or 5 years I think now, counting this one. So looking forward to it. And we're going to talk a little bit about con preparation and the convention itself as we start. Hey, Pete. Oh, yeah, Pete. I'm sorry. I forgot. I am sorry. But the other thing, too, is we only have 1 table instead of 2. So sorry about that, man. So what Pete's referring to is that I was hoping to get an entire end cap and then have Pete come down and share some space as well. But well, let's just show it. So we're gonna get in here. Let me do the share screen. Sorry, Pete. I mean, if you want to, we can do that. The table's $1,500. Do you want to come on tonight, Pete, or are you streaming on Twitch? I can send you an invite if you want to come on. Okay, let me send you an invite. Get this. You'll be the first person we've ever had on this stream, other than myself. Which means I need to wear my headset so I can hear you. All right, let's go ahead and get you the invite. Pete Vasquez. This is an unplanned excellence. All right, there we go. Links in the private Facebook chat. All right. The screen I'm sharing right now is the Lexington Comic and Toy Con floor map. So we will go ahead and focus on that here in a minute once Pete gets in here. All right, we'll add Pete. Pete Vasquez, how you doing, brother?
Hi, everybody. What's going on? Can you hear me?
I hear you loud and clear. You sound really good, man.
I bought headphones. I bought good headphones.
So Pete, yeah, I'm sorry, man. With when I realized I wasn't gonna be able to swing the full cost on it, I just completely forgot about you. That's my fault.
Yeah, it's definitely not. It's not a fault thing. Whatever, do your business. It's because I was always expecting to pay for half the table.
Okay.
I would do it, but I could have done it. You know, like however it was 6 or 8 months ago when we were like planning when you were booking the show. 2 months out, I already have because since then I booked. We booked a massive TCG show where we're gonna have 5 tables. At this massive.
Damn, that's a lot.
It didn't cost as much as you would think it cost. It cost us less than $1,000 for all 5.
Oh wow, that's awesome.
What we did is we found because there's 10 or 12 tables in the island that we bought, and we split it with a couple other vendors that we know and trust. So we basically made an island of basically friends. So it's like 10 or 12 tables in a square, and it's like we could all have room for our signage. We can all do this, and then we can talk about okay, well, this is where we're going to have the space where we can go when we have to leave the booth, and everybody can leave their stuff in the middle because we're going to put our signs around it and things like that. So we had a whole meeting and a plan, and then we attacked it because it's the local Long Island TCG. That's what it's called, Long Island TCG. There's a lot of trading card game shows, a lot of trading card game companies, but the Long Island one has been super successful, where they do almost 2 monthly shows all year. They just had one today, which was sold out, which was 1,500 tickets, and just explosive. It's amazing. And then, why did I lose? Oh, okay. I'm like, where'd everything go? And then in May 1st and 2nd, we'll be at the Nassau Veterans Memorial Coliseum for their yearly big show, which is like 500 tables, a few thousand guests, all sorts of crazy. voice actors up the ding dong. Like you and your kid would love it because there's so many cool voice actors that they're gonna have. So yeah, dope stuff. Just absolutely amazing.
Oh, quick question. Did you get your Christmas present? Did it
I
arrive
did.
okay?
I did. I was.
Good, good, good,
I
good, good.
haven't done a video, and I haven't really talked to you about it. I know both of us have been kind of
We've
busy with
been
life stuff.
insanely busy is a good word for it, really.
Life
Yeah.
life stuff really hitting us in the head. But I wanted to say thank you very much. You didn't have to do that, you maniac. But I'm really glad you did.
Well, I'm glad you
I'm
like it.
really
Now,
glad you
you know
did.
what we forgot to do though? We need to introduce you to everyone who's going to be seeing you here. Some of them see you for the first time.
Oh yeah,
So go ahead and introduce. Who are you? What do you do? We can skip the "Who's your daddy" part, because we have respect for our relations here on this show. But
yeah.
lay it on us. I mean, a career artist. You've done fantastic work, both for me commercially, as far as like our sticker designs and things like that. You're one of the artists who's in the debut release of Art by Humans that I hope to finish formatting tonight and put the uh, additional proof orders in for. And then you're also one of the top, one of, I should say, in the top three artists of one of the future owners of Sinopa Publishing, my very own little Willow,
That's a
who
beautiful thing.
absolutely adores your work. We actually have to go get frames because she's decided that she's going to take things out of her scrapbook and start putting them on her wall. So
That's cool. That's
yeah,
cool. Well, everybody, hi. My name is Pete Vasquez. I'm an artist. I've been an artist. I'm in my 50s now, but I've been an artist my whole life. I've always been scratching on things. But officially out of college, I started doing well. Okay, unofficially in high school, I was definitely an underground kind of artist. Did some stuff here and there with some spray cans and things like that, and some other uh, urban media and paper and pencils and sticks and whatever I kind of draw with. And then I started doing some art shows in college. And after college, I live in New York, so it was very easy to do art shows and underground art shows and stuff that I still do here in New York to this day. But I started doing some shows here and there, kind of like I've always gone to Comic Con. Like last year was the only year I missed New York Comic Con since it's been around, or any kind of little or small show in the tri-state area. What happens next is in 2014, me and my buddy Brendan created a studio called Fat Guy Inc. We're two big guys. We thought that would be funny. We thought it would be like just a one-time, one-off kind of thing. And next thing you know, that's 13 years later. We are still an art studio out here on Long Island, New York, putting stuff together, getting things done. We do, again, before the pandemic, I was doing 44 shows a year, traveling around the farthest west. I had gone with C2E2, the farthest south. We got into Virginia and did some stuff there, and we did a lot of stuff in Pennsylvania and Jersey, of course. Um, and yeah, I used to do my own indie comics, which I'm going to do. It was just for fun. It wasn't. There was no Kickstarter, so it was all us involved. And once again, I'll be putting out a couple, and we'll talk about this later if you want, Sam. Put a
sure.
pin in it. Remember, I have a few comic book ideas that I have put together that I'm going to do, but I'm going to do them as art things. Not so. Don't expect crowdfunding or anything like that with this stuff. I'm
Gotcha.
just doing it on my own. We'll talk about that if you want to. If you need fluff for the show. But yeah, that's who I am. But I'm an artist. I draw stuff. I paint stuff. I'm definitely a commission artist. I'm definitely a this artist. I don't really consider myself to be a comic book artist, even though I've done stuff for Sam and Sinopa. I've done stuff for Atrocity Comics. I've done stuff. You've seen some of my stuff in the pages of Antarctic Press. I'm the table of contents for Ninja High School 200. That's my image, and that's soon to be my Comic Con banner.
Nice.
Ben Dunn has said that could be my Comic Con banner. So I asked Ben first, and the sensei said it was okay. And then what's the other thing? And I have two pieces in both Michael Turner tribute books from Aspen Comics.
There you go. Now that's a big feather in the cap right there.
And to be completely honest with you, I for that I didn't care about credit or anything like that for two reasons. A, I adore Michael Turner, God rest his soul, and every proceed, because we didn't get paid. I didn't even get comps, but every nickel from that went to cancer research. So that makes me pretty happy.
Yeah, we lost a legend when he passed.
Yeah, I really did. So,
Pete, we're going to talk about some things tonight. We're going to talk about con prep. So I'm glad you're here.
oh God, I'm in the
Um,
middle of it right now.
Yep, and we're going to talk about. We're going to actually throw some numbers out for my coming con in March, the one that we're showing off here. I think you're going
Oh
to
yeah,
like. I think you're going to like it, some of the math on this, but I think you're also going to like some of the positions that we've got. So this piece right here on the right, just ignore that because that's the arena where
right, right.
basketball and everything is. Let me see if I can get this to move. My browser is not digging having all these tabs open that I got ready. I actually prepped for it. But this is the main entrance corridor for the venue. This entranceway is usually blocked off every year for an emergency exit only. And this is the main entranceway to the event center. Okay. Into where you have all your guest booths right through here, and then right along the entranceway walls. So you've got your wrestlers, your actors, your voice actors, your comic guys are usually down on this end, things of that nature. And then here you've got the lightsaber guys right on that first one when you walk in. Really premium space. And then here we have Copper Coast Confections. This is one of those convention candy fudge treats kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
And right here, Sonopa Publishing.
That's cool. All right, yeah, that's cool.
Now, see, I wanted to get this one also, but note the price point on these. These spaces are $1,500. So for Kentucky, that's pretty high.
Yeah.
But like when we were in here last time, we came in just under 3,000, and we were way back over here.
Right. Okay.
So and we just had the one little. Well, no, sorry, that's not right. We were over here.
I really like the way they set up their floor there a lot. It's like it's a I don't know if they started doing it first or if New York started doing it first, but it's a trend I see a lot of places with the bigger spaces that are using bigger arenas. A lot of corners, a lot of like instead of having a row and everybody together in a row, they have a few corners where it's 4 tables next to each other, so it's 4 corners like a square, and because that allows a lot more traffic, so people can move. They're not just stuck down one long aisle, which is gigantic, but also gives you 2 sides, gives 4 tables 2 sides to have their stuff out there. So as long as your neighbors aren't horrible, that's great.
And I've seen this like this since 2018.
Okay, cool.
So I know it's been at least that way since then. And in 2017, I wasn't there, and I hadn't been at a con since like 2008 before then. So I had missed a lot. But the interesting thing about this is we are still seeing a lot of booths open. Now, one thing that they do is this end right here, this top part. You know what? I could have swore I muted that. I'm sorry. Every time not only do I not have it muted, every single one of these is turned up to freaking maximum.
Same thing. Anytime I shoot live, boom, it's hey, how you doing?
There we go.
Hey,
yeah,
I'm really busy right now. Good.
Yeah, no, right. But all this part up in here, this is all dedicated to comic shops, comic dealers, stuff like that. And so you'll have like little. Where does it say it? Oh no, I guess they moved it up a little higher this year then. But they'll have like little flags on these say that they're only for comic dealers, comic publishers, and stuff like that. I get like the indie creator, TTRPG comic together thing, and so I just gotta find the space I can. I tell you that if I could justify it by the math, I would go ahead and get this today. Or for that matter, if I can raise the money in the meantime in like the next 3 weeks or so, I might go ahead and get it anyway.
I can't see the price. What's the
$1,500?
That's not horrible.
Yeah, I mean, give us some more room. And then the other thing too is that maybe I can get Brian Lee to come down, or maybe even get Damian Torres to come down.
Right.
Maybe we can get. I think are you at a con the 26th, 27th, 28th?
That sounds awfully familiar. Hold on a second. Let's look at. I like you, Sam, am of the age where I prefer having a big calendar where I can write stuff down as opposed to everything on my phone.
Right.
So what weeks is it? What day is it in March?
26th, 27th, 28th. And we've got Lunchbox Warren in the chat as well. Warren, you want to join us tonight, man?
Unfortunately, I have to hold off because I'm waiting for my Artist Alley response because that weekend is also C2E2.
Ah, gotcha.
And that's not that it's hard to get to you, but C2E2 is cake for me to get to.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
I would just go to the train station, go to the city. I mean Manhattan. For those of you who are listening, we just call it the city. Jump on a train, and then I'm in. 12 hours later, I'm in Chicago.
I'm gonna go ahead and send Warren the link, and we'll get some.
Yeah,
we'll see if he wants to get in or not.
If he's got the link, who's going to watch the show? I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Get this.
I'm lurking. I'm giving you a lurk. Don't worry.
We had what was it? It was 100 and something viewers on last week's, but it was only like 15 during the show, and then everyone else trickled in. So we still haven't broke that 200 viewers mark. But I did. Now, keep in mind that's between X and YouTube, and we still haven't added Kick or Rumble yet, and I still haven't added Facebook yet. But
I don't like Kick.
Well, I'm gonna add as many as I can.
No. You hit whatever. For me, Kick doesn't work because I feel like it's a little dirty, a little seedy. It's just a little. It's like remember the old TVs that when we were kids, it was like that kind of thing. Smoke to the bottom of the floor and just little pen. But if it works for you, then boom, make that money.
Well, I'm not monetized. I'm not monetized anywhere. So I mean, maybe one day, but the big thing is
when something hits, it hits.
True enough. And actually, for those of you who are watching, Pete was one of the folks who really has been a lot of help in getting me into getting the streaming done, as far as encouraging me to get out there and just, talk to people and get to it. So here's to another successful week, after a few months of being offline from, the passing of family and such.
I will say this, if he comes on, whether or not he does it, I still have to say that the king of it right now is Warren. Warren's been beating it hard. He's been on social media. He's there. He is. He started. I'm talking about you, Warren.
Nice.
He started with little time-lapse videos on TikTok, and now he's turned that into a really cool YouTube channel, and then doing a lot of different things on other people's channels and rebroadcasting it. Warren's everywhere, and I think he's doing it right because unlike a lot of people that I see out there, he's consistent. And he's just banging it out. Now, I have taken his advice and started doing stories on Twitch and YouTube, and I have to start playing with my thumbnails, which just makes me terrible because I used to do it all the damn time, and I have the iPad. I should be doing, I love Procreate. I brought a new pencil, but no, I'm terrible with my thumbnails, so I have to start fixing those. And I'm having Warren. We're gonna have a meeting off air about because I can never get. You know how you have your video and it says notify me on YouTube that Warren's going to be going live on such and such a date? I can never get that to work for me.
So okay.
We're talk about that.
Oh, when you pre-schedule them, yeah.
Yeah,
we're going to schedule them.
Yeah. I haven't because every Monday I can pre-schedule a video and I just don't because I'm stupid. So we're going to talk about.
Yeah, I'm up to 101 subscribers on YouTube now.
He's passed me already. He's passed me
5 this time last year. So.
I'm up to 97 now. So
ooh, nice.
You went right past me. So Warren, before we go any further, go ahead and tell everyone who you are, what you do, and everything like that. And did you get your Christmas stuff?
Yes, I did. They're up on my wall framed already.
Okay. I really should pay attention to who got them or not, but I sent them out to the whole group, So I know you guys got them. I know Larry got them. I know that Max got his, but I've lost track of who else had them. So,
yeah, my name is Lunchbox Warren, and I am the writer, creator, artist, letterer, everything for the Adventures of Sig and Joe, as well as How the Squirrels Saved Longview, and I would have submissions in AP and multiple other anthologies. I am currently working on putting together the graphic novel for all 4 issues of the first arc of Sig and Joe, and those are also available on Global Comics for free right now for the rest of the month. Over 200 pages of Sig and Joe action. I am currently operating my YouTube channel, Lunchbox Comics, where I do a weekly pre-recorded video where I call the Lunchbox Spotlight, where I spotlight something that I'm reading, whether it's indie, manga, or mainstream, as well as on Mondays with Laps Comics Fan. I have a show called Off the Shelf where we go through different comic books. We're going through the DCKO series, as well as live streams on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and a show called The Last Panel with Gray Poupée, Bob Loves Movies, and Laps Comics Fan, where we go over like our favorite Kevin Smith movies or our top 10 Tarantino movies and stuff along those lines. So I'm streaming about five days a week now, and I do shorts daily, keeping up an update with my health journey. I started in the 1st December, and now I am going through this entire year of eating right, hitting the gym, and concentrating on trying to get my presence built up and my comics out there more. I quit smoking pot. I'm completely clean now. And yeah, things are going great. I went from the introvert who would stream once like every 3 months, and now I'm streaming 5 days a week, and I'm actually having a lot of fun.
Don't sit there and tell me, "Oh, I'm clean." Don't say it like that. That's like when people say, "Oh, I have. Do you have any tattoos?" No, I'm clean. Not like that. That's ew. Don't say
I miss it though every day.
Just so you know, I don't. So, and not by saying I don't miss it because I don't do it. It's I do it.
There you go. So for those of you guys, make sure that you're posting links where people can find you in the chat, so that folks can check out your streams, check out your draw streams, check out your comic reviews, Warren, and everything. And Warren, I have actually a suggestion for you also, as far as a really cool manga that I think that you might get a kick out of.
I'm down.
Let me go find the exact title. And here it is. This is
that long ass link is my link tree.
This is, where the hell is it? Hold on a second. There we go. I'm gonna send this to you.
I just did a review on Sakamoto Days, or a spotlight on it.
This one is I just sent you the Amazon link. This is my youngest, Little Willow, one of her top favorite mangas right now, and also one of her favorite animes. So I've
heard about this one. I need to check it out.
It is.
Can I get a link?
Yeah, I'll send it to you. It is. Let me get this into Pete real quick. There you go. So this is where the hell did I put it? Campfire Cooking in Another World of My Absurd Skill.
Yes, I've heard of this.
Now, This is how Willow stopped being such a picky eater, because we found like the first season of the anime, and where I couldn't get her to eat anything other than like chicken and corn and potatoes and hot dogs and stuff like that. She would not eat it. When we started this series, we watched through it in Japanese first, which is one of the things actually that encouraged her to start reading so much, is that she wanted to be able to keep up with subtitles. So whenever we get something that comes out, even if there is an English dub, a lot of times we'll watch it in Japanese first, just to keep her exercising and reading. Plus, she reads at least half an hour a day.
Have you guys checked out Delicious in Dungeon?
Yeah, we've watched, I think, the first 6 episodes of that.
Yeah, I love that one too.
That was really neat.
Good.
Yeah. The cool thing too is like this encourages her to try new foods and to get interested in cooking.
That's cool.
So we're back in the kitchen more, and she's reading the manga now that it's come out in English. And we just finished the next season, what came out last anime season. She's loving that. And she's actually about to be ahead of the anime with the manga reading, because we are expecting volume 3 and 4 should be in. 3 should be in next week, and 4 should be in April. So at that point, she'll be slightly ahead of where the anime is.
Oh, that's awesome.
You can always find something. You can always just give her One Piece, and she can stay behind it always.
Forever. Yeah, we're never gonna catch up.
I'm caught up and I'm still behind. I can't.
So Warren, we were talking about like the coming Lexington convention. We're talking about some con stuff here, right? And I picked up. Here's the main entrance right here.
Yeah.
Right, and this is where we're at.
Ooh, nice spot.
So we got Rebel Sabers. They're the lightsaber guys. Carolyn, I don't know Carolyn directly. Bossalon Arts, they do. I know they do a lot of art prints. We'll see what else. I'll do like a stream from these, and then Let's Bug Out's a new one on me too. But these guys, these are the convention treats, the fudge guys. You know, the cookies and all that kind of
Oh,
stuff.
you're in a really great spot
I'm
then.
right there, man.
Yeah.
So when you come in, like people come here and hit the guests, they'll come down and they'll come up here and they'll smell the food, you know. And then PB&J Collectibles, these guys do a lot of minis and figs and a lot of, well, really a lot of stuff. Nice people, actually. Met them a few times. And then we got Weapon Dealer down here and more Toy Dealer. We've got 5 different practice toy sword vendors at this con. This stuff. 4. Sorry, 4.
Just so you know, being near one of those sword guys is great. And this is for you guys next time you're looking at cons at Warren, especially for you, since you know you're still kind of starting out with those too. The toy guys are actually great to be around because 9 times out of 10 they'll buy from you. Oh, cool, you know, blah blah blah, whatever.
Yep.
But they always get people, and their stuff isn't cheap.
Right.
So people are going with a disposable income already to buy from those guys. So toy guys, and especially like the weapons guys, just be on the lookout because I have one weapons guy here locally who has a battery driven grinder to put people's initials on the weapons that they buy. And I will keep it PG. It is the most annoying thing.
No doubt. Yeah. I feel you there.
Literally, and there are people like there are at least 2 different shows where he's been asked to stop because it's just like
I gotcha. We have on this one, we have the Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Thursday is, you know, afternoon only kind of thing, right? And so you get a lot of your early access VIP guys in that day to hunt through the comics and look for the particular toys and whatnot. Guys with a lot of disposable income. So this is really a good day for selling like original art pages.
the nerd herd.
Yeah. The guys who are hardcore collectors that Thursday.
New York Comic Con has, you experienced this, Sam, to a degree. Yeah. Doors usually open at 10, and most cons are like this. I know they'll have the VIP or the early bird ticket, right? Mm-hmm. And then those are like super expensive, whatever. Okay, but people still sell them out. We knew about the early bird, but literally I had a Jurassic Park moment once. Like by 8:30, I want to be behind the table and already drawing something or already set up and good so that when this show opens, we're good to go and I'm comfortable and I'm in my spot and everything's good. 1 year at 909, 901, 905, whatever. Like, I'm like, what is that sound?
Yeah.
And they're like, what the hell is going on? And at one point, our area kind of literally shook for a second. I'm like, what the shit is that? And it was the nerd herds all running in different spots to go get their exclusives and stuff. And I'm like, Jesus.
I remember the 2023 New York Comic Con when we were there. Saturday morning, I was over. I'd gone over and swung by your booth. I went and swung by. The guys from New Jersey and from Queens that we do streams with every once in a while. And then Henri Compton, I went and now mind you, this was Saturday. Henri had sold all but 1 box of product. He had already sold like 4,000 comics before we even opened on Saturday. But he's really good about selling completely out. But he was completely sold out by like noon on Saturday. And then basically spent the rest of Saturday and Sunday shaking hands with people, signing books, and just chilling out with the fan base. Fantastic promotion. He did a great job. But this one with this right here, like that Thursday is not as heavily attended. People come in like little small packs. There's I'm going to say this, and it always embarrasses me a little bit because I feel like I'm getting the big head a bit. But there's these group of guys who are just the most fantastic supporters of my work, and they'll show up on Thursday or Friday or Saturday, depending on what everyone's schedule is. They all come together, and then they come by and they look through everything, and if there's anything in mind that they don't have yet, they make sure they buy it. If there's a new original that they haven't seen yet, they'll usually pick up an original. And so these guys really do a lot to swing my numbers, right? Speaking of which, let's talk some numbers real quick. So the booth here is $1,500, right? Now, the majority of the stock that I'm bringing for this is stuff that has already been purchased through last year, has already been taken care of on our tax accounting and everything. So a large portion of the stock effectively has a zero cost, right? What will be new is Art by Humans magazine should be in hand by the time, and should have already been shipped for fulfillment by the time we are go live on this. So we should have a few hundred copies of Art by Humans. And so we're going to go ahead and put that out and make that available. And then we'll have some new art prints as well, including some that are not necessarily new.
I would have been there to sign them if Sam had remembered me.
I know, I'm sorry. But we're going to be bringing also a couple of things that we hadn't had at the previous one. I think you guys recognize I
have that somewhere.
Isn't this fantastic? So we're going to take and make sure that we bring some of those cool pieces out. And then I've also got a box of stuff left from Antarctic Press, from where we did the 40th anniversary appearance. Me and Willow went to that. And did I tell you guys what happened with Willow at the Antarctic Press thing last year?
No.
So check this out. We took some mugs and stuff like we always do, because we have pretty neat mugs. I had already sent mugs to the Antarctic Press guys like a few months before that, so they had them, right? But somehow, somewhere, Joe Ming didn't get his mug. I didn't know this at the time. So Willow's sitting there. She's talking with Joe. I'm taking care of another sale. I turn and ask her if she has any questions, and she's like, "I got this, Dad. It's okay." I'm like, "All right, fine, whatever. You're just talking to Joe Ming Dung. I mean, come on." And so I'm wrapping up the sale on this, and Willow is selling Joe the last mug we have, the very last one we have in inventory, because she's already sold the rest of them. And because that little girl can move product, I'm telling you. And so Joe asked her, he's like, "Do you take cash or card?" And she looks him dead in the eye and she says, "We take cash and card, and I also take tips." It's Joe Ming.
Jesus Christ.
And Joe Ming tipped her $5 for the effort. And by the time he went, he was happy with his purchase and just really just smiling ear to ear, because she really was working. Within like another hour and a half or so, she had like $30 in tips, and I set her loose on the con to go spend the money she wanted to spend. So she went and spread it back around the convention floor. Just had a fantastic time. But she literally looked at Joe Ming Dun and said, "Yeah, I take cash or card, and also I take tips." It was just absolutely freaking hysterical.
She's a natural.
She is, man. She does a fantastic job. She actually outsold me again the last con we were at. Now only by like $6, but she did.
Ow!
You all right?
Sorry. My fucking cat. Hold on.
Is Cat being orange again? He went mute. Cat must be being orange. So here's what we got going on with this. So we've got most of our stock is basically a net zero cost going in, right? So we can sell it at our regular shelf price, like $5 per comic, and like bundle of 3 for 10, stuff like that, right? And the same thing for most of the art prints. So our actual overhead on top of this is really only like supplies, like bags and boards, fuel cost, stuff like that. So between fuel costs, bags and boards, and everything like that, we're allowing for about $500 in expenses. So our overall expense is a whopping $2,000, right? So if we at least match our previous year's sales on that, we'll be profitable. But the goal on this year is to do $4,000 in sales. So we're gonna be really pushing it to try and sell about 600 to 800 comics and 200 to 400 art prints is where we're targeting, and hopefully about 100 to 200 Art by Human magazines. Plus, we should have some more TTRPG books by that point. Now, I've got some buddies who are going to be here. I'll have to figure out where their booths are. But this convention's always been pretty good to us. I am surprised of some of the booths that are still open. Now this premium booth I think is a little bit overpriced at
How much is it?
5,000. It's a whole block. The problem is it's down next to the emergency exit rather. If it were up a little higher, I can kind of see that, but I would probably price this more along 3,500 would be what my math would say. You know,
I'm
and you're
laughing.
like,
I'm
yeah, because
laughing.
at New York Comic Con it's 12K. You know,
Well, we paid for 2 of your booths. So say
Yep.
look, if you look up that square, you see that one booth that's darker purple and the 2 that are lavender.
Yeah.
Up above. Oh, even that yellow one that you're clicking right there.
Yeah.
We paid just over 6 for that.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, my
So-
my single table booth at NYCC 2023 was 2,000.
Yeah, that doesn't cost that anymore. Oh no, because you were in line. So yeah, that costs about that. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's about
I was
that.
in line. Well, I mean, I think it was more like 1750, 18, something like that. Basically,
Yeah, no,
$2,000.
because you were because it was an inline. Yeah.
And I was in the entirely wrong position to be in. But we sold a shit ton of stuff.
I'm getting a table at the local market in April, and it's cost me for 2 days $150. But
I love.
we're only
those.
going to see like 300 people, not like
But here's
20,000 that you guys will.
but here's the thing, and this is what's important. I do those shows. In fact, I run a show that probably won't see more than 300 people in a couple weeks.
Mhm.
I have a comic book show. We're doing night shows with Hot Flips. The 20th. It's actually going to be cool because Al Milgram and some other people are going to be there too, which is cool. I'll get you to the list in a second. And we don't expect more than a couple hundred people to that.
Yep.
But yeah, but then we'll do a 2,000-3,000 people, and then we have stuff set up for multi-thousand, 10K, 20K, or New York, which is almost over 200K. Every show counts. It really every event counts, and for different reasons, but every show counts.
And this is my big local show. This is the big one in my neighborhood. Now Cincinnati is not too far off, and it's a little bit more pricey. But Cincy is in this weird period where they've got a new event center being built, and so they're not in the big center. It's a little awkward for me. I'm gonna give it a couple of years before I go back just to see how it shakes out. But this one, you'll see 35,000 people in a day. It'll be
dope.
Yeah,
That's
it's way bigger than I think a lot of people realize as far as for the attendance. And think about how big this floor plan is too. When you look at it, yeah, I mean, this is just like the bottom half. Now, this space down here for real is this wide. So you've got things like the big Appa Airbender display where people can put their kids on it and everything. And
they got celebrities down there too?
No celebrities down here, but these right down here are usually more big display areas. And then there's also a what else do they usually have down here? They usually have like some more food vendors down here. And so if you're hungry, you head south. But then up here, where you've got all your comic guys and everything, you might have some food vendors as well. And then you've also got like these guys. These guys actually have some pretty cool stuff. There's no telling what you're going to see. You might see classic toys from the 60s and 70s. You might see, consoles from the 80s and the 90s. You might find records or, whatever. These guys, there's no telling what you're going to see with them. And then like this one right here, I mean, that's 10 by 20 for $22.50, if you've got like bigger items, then that's a hell of a spot. I'm really surprised that hasn't filled yet. But then all of our big celebs right down through the middle, and right down through here.
Okay.
So you'll have like your wrestler guys and voice actors on this wall. And this up here, you'll have some voice actors as well, and a lot of comic guys through here. Jim Shooter was actually right here in 2024. So
we did a show once, and I will not name it, in Atlantic City, me, Jay, and Angel. And then what we didn't know was we were in the vendor area because of the tables that we had gotten, and Artist Alley was in the back. They had put all the celebrities in the front, and it was an effing ghost town. It was terrible.
Oh wow.
We did okay, but then when we had friends in Artist Alley that hadn't seen people. Like we'd get texts, "Are there people up there? Because there's none over here." To the point where a local hero, Billy Tucci, had walked by and said hi because he was wandering because no one, he who's always busy wasn't. It's just
Yeah, that's a bad sign. If Billy Tucci
Yeah.
isn't busy, that's a bad sign.
This is years ago, and it was in a casino, and whatever. It was oh god, we had such a good setup too. Whatever. Anyway, sorry. I always ask that question because of that con, and I always look for that. Where are the celebrities? Oh, they're right in the front. No, I'm not doing it. Where are the celebrities? They're in the back, so people have to walk through everybody. Sick. I'm in.
Yeah. Yeah. So celebrities are always a big deal. The guys from Jay and Silent Bob's Secret Stash, the guys who work there,
Yes.
they are making the con circuit pretty steadily, and I've run
Yeah.
into a few of those on the regular. So that's always a
They're
good
super
time.
nice.
They are.
They're
They
absolutely
really are.
super nice.
They've been really cool to me in the past too. I mean, in fact, a couple of them took some photos with me at basically the only con I've ever lost money on. It was so dead that to give you an idea, on Saturday at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, there were fewer guests walking. There were fewer people, attendees, in the arena than there were vendors.
I'm going to throw this at you. One year, the weekend before New York Comic Con, one year, we did this show out here on the island, and it was packed. It was packed, and we were sharing the booth, and Brendan was doing great. Will I tell you? When I tell you, I sold nothing for the entire weekend. I sold nothing for the whole weekend. And I sat there. My confidence was shot. I'm like, it's going to suck next week. Everything's going to be terrible next week. Then finally Sunday, I was like, you know what? Whatever. So, but I sold to nothing. It was great.
Well, speaking of cons and selling stuff, I'm going to segue a little bit because, we got Art by Humans is going to come to Kickstarter. We're going to fund the press run. And Pete, for all those of you who are seeing this, Pete was kind enough to volunteer not just some art that he had done, some originals and such, but he also was kind enough to answer the Q&A and put together some stuff regarding content on conventions and handling convention stuff. So look for that in Art by Humans. And then Pete, of course, once we get funded, we're going to send you a nice, comfortable stack of comps for you so that you can push some books when you're at NYCC this year, among other places.
But many places before that's October. I'm not even thinking about October right now. I'm not even. When you said con prep, I was like, that's what I was doing. That's what I was. Your con prep is a little different than mine.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
A little bit different. Because, and this is cool. I think this is a good thing for people to see because I think Warren's con prep is a little different than both of ours, but he's going to take a lot. He's going to take half of what you do and half of what I do because he's the boss and the artist.
Right.
We're half and half the bosses, but it's a lot at this point. It's a lot easier for us. But I'm still right now. I'm in the product, and I hate to call it product, but for some of these events, that's what it is. It's the product paintings. Okay, how many canvases do I need? How much paint do I need? How much this? How much that? How much that? That's what I was. I was organizing all of that today, and then tomorrow. I'll start painting and getting ready for things like that. Because for me, I do, and this is why I was partially why I was messing with you about asking me to come to this show with you, Sam. Maybe we'll do it next year. I start booking, like I booked my 2026 halfway through 2025. Like my stuff has been booked way in advance because that's just for some of these shows, that's just what you have to do, especially the rat race after the pandemic. Once shows opened up again, they were selling out poof because everybody needed a show because we all started at zero. So luckily we had a good enough reputation where we were able to get into stuff and people like, don't worry about it, blah, blah, blah. Well, you guys are in, I need you guys anyway. So cool. But I as far as when you're sitting there going through the dollars and cents of this, that, the other thing. And I always have that factored in, how much does your train cost? How much does this cost?
Right.
Can we split the air? I mean, for shit's sake, sorry. But we put was it Awesome Con or Baltimore? Was it Awesome Con or Baltimore? Well, for Baltimore, we put 7 people in a hotel room. And for Baltimore, that was Baltimore. For Awesome Con in DC, we had an Airbnb. where three of us still slept. Where three of us still slept in the living room.
Gotcha.
But
I was,
you know,
I was really fortunate with New York Comic Con. I got to stay with Brandon Lee and his family, who have
yeah,
been
you
friends
stayed
of mine
in Jersey,
forever.
right?
Pennsylvania.
Okay, see that was easy. That's easier drive because you're going against all the traffic and stuff. Now I will say one thing about that year at New York Comic Con. What year was it, Sam? 23?
23, yeah, 23.
Okay. When I first met Sam, I was so happy. Yay, blah, blah, blah. Oh my God, Sam. And then Sam went off to do his thing. I was like, okay, I'll see him at the end of the day because it's gonna be busy. Because again, we've done New York Comic Con a million times, and it's like San Diego, crazy busy and insane, and you almost die every day and blah, blah, blah. So at one point, at one time, Alexia did it, and she managed to catch me. But apparently you came to visit or to do so or to give me something or to say something. I still so super sorry. But I couldn't get to Sam but we had a corner table, one fat guy on one side, one fat guy on the other side, and we were 3 deep from end to end. Like we had people everywhere on top of us, and I never even saw that you were there. To the point where my friend, one of my interns, he's not an intern, it's Danny. Danny's like, oh, there's that guy was here to see you again, but you were doing, you were in that flow state, and I'm like, I didn't. I'm so sorry.
I mean, it's all right, man, because we were busy too, but I had a lot of help. Like I had a bunch of the artists who had, worked on projects and such. I got them passes so that they would come in and they would, work an hour or so and then cruise about and sell originals to different dealers and such, and then come back and sit for an hour or whatever. But we did, because our con prep is a lot different than yours, where you're spending time painting and such. We have to make sure that we have, the press runs done and all the product and all the bags and boards and such. And then also figure out like what our math is on our promotions. So that for New York Comic Con, that key promotion was because we had just done Tibby, time traveling psychedelic mushrooms. We had gotten some books in at the house and then frantically shipped stuff out for that. And then brought, what did we bring? I think we brought 100 copies of the Virgin variant, and I think we brought 2,000 copies of the regular variant with the trade dress on there. And we had a con special for Tibby where you could buy Tibby for $10. You got a copy of Tibby with the trade dress and the Tibby Witch Starter poster, the 11x17 art print, where Tibby's a witch boiling a cauldron over a big pile of weed.
I have that somewhere.
And the trauma of that is that it was the art prints were supposed to be there like 3 days before the con starts, and I get to Pennsylvania and they're not there. And I look at my phone and it says, your art prints have been delivered. And I look at the image and they had dropped them off at my house, but the shipping address was the address I was at in Pennsylvania. And I called them, I'm like, how the hell does this even happen? And they're like, we don't know, but something definitely went south. I said, well, look, I'm about to be at New York Comic Con. I need this order of prints. I need it where I'm at, and I need it tomorrow. And they're like, we can't do that. I'm like, tell me 3 reasons why not. And they could give me 2, and they're like, but regardless, we can't do it. And so my printer, God bless their souls, they credited the cost of it. And I said, I'll go ahead and ship them back to you if you want. They're like, no, we can't do anything with them. So just go ahead and keep them, and we'll just, that was clearly our mistake somewhere. We'll figure it out. I'm like, okay. But I still didn't have the art prints. It was the one, and it was what was advertised on our link on the New York Comic Con website, right? So we found a print shop in Pennsylvania that was a Minuteman Press print shop, and went down there. I had accessed the file on the Google Drive and downloaded it to a thumb drive and hauled ass over there, and we got the print specifics, and they told me what they were going to charge for it. And I was like, okay, it wasn't too much more than what my regular press run was. I'm like, I'll get 500, right? I'll get 500. And if I need to order more, I'll come back and order more the next morning and haul ass, right? So we put in the order. They say it's going to be a couple of hours. We head over, we get something to eat. We run a couple other errands to get some supplies that we needed for the convention, right? So we need to get some more bags and boards because I had managed to leave like 400 bags and boards at the house, which is, really inconvenient a couple of days before New York Comic Con. And so we dropped by like 3 different comic shops buying bags and boards. And
You
get
shouldn't
back.
have done that. First, wait, I'm going to stop you real quick. And this is going to be a shameless plug, not for me though. If you're at a con, a bigger con, and that happens, or if you need them and you need them sent to you pretty quick, you just got to call my buddies at Hot Flips. They have like, I'll just put it like this. They take care of business. Okay, these
Cool.
guys take care. And they're usually, and then the funny thing is, at New York, they're always set up in two different places. Their big setup is in Artist Alley, and their other big setup is in the front of the main floor, and they always have whatever you need.
Let's go ahead. I'm going to grab a link to their website, and we'll put that in the chat. So for everyone who is watching, and we're not only showing 2 people watching on Restream, but X is showing 27. So hey, for all you guys who are watching, thank you so much for being here. Again, if you have any comments or questions, criticisms, or concerns, go ahead and post them in the chat. We're live, and if you're watching this after the fact, go ahead and post them into the comments, and I'll go ahead and get to them after the fact.
I'll actually give you a better link for them.
Okay.
If you want.
Yeah, post it in the chat if you would. Warren, what's your con prep look like? Share.
Well, as of right now, I'm working on trying to get the graphic novel done. I had floppies, but they weren't selling as well because of my price point. So if I want to get this graphic novel done and then make sure I have enough artwork done to sell their 11 by 17s and then the 7 3/4 by 10s, the comic backing boards, I'll draw on them and people seem to like that. So it's a lot of that kind of stuff. I already have stickers and everything else that I need. My big thing right now is getting the inventory together and then trying to find more of the cons, because I'm still there's quite a bit in Portland, but I'm just trying to find out when and where so I can get into them. I had one I was going to go to in Port Angeles, which is like 4 hours away, but I didn't really have the money this time to do the hotel and do the con and the whole deal. So right now it's really trying to get everything together to figure it out.
I have a tip for you.
It's tough to do that as a solo, but I'm going to give you, I think Sam's will be more professional, but I'm going to give you one on the side. I had a crew that we all did a lot of the same shows, or, oh, I didn't know about that show. Well, come with us. We'll drive together.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's when you're by yourself, it's the best way to do it.
And one thing too, reach out to Adam Watson with Darkslinger Comics and Comics Mainstream Distribution, because he's got a list of all the local cons in the up in the Northwest, and he's not far from you, actually. You know.
Yeah, no, I could get a hold of him. I just wished him happy birthday recently because it was his birthday. So
it sure was. I was like, "Happy birthday, bro!" And he's like, hey, "Thanks, man." Actually, fun fact: they have got the YouTube channel rolling back, and they showed off Tibby and her time traveling psychedelic mushrooms, and it broke 1,000 views.
That's nice.
So that was kind of neat. Yep, loving that. And for those of you who are wondering, Comics Mainstream Distribution is owned by Adam Watson, and they do distribute a lot of indie work. They also distribute Heavy Metal magazine, which is a hell of an accomplishment, if you ask me. And they're putting comics in retail locations, on spinner racks and on magazine racks, and doing an absolutely fantastic job. He actually managed to broker a deal. We have a fan up in that neck of the woods who wanted all of the holochrome Tibby books that we had left. And so we completely sold out of inventory other than the 2 for my kids. Even sold them my personal copy. So at the same price that we got on the Kickstarter. So that was pretty nice. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. But yeah, I would reach out to him and definitely get that going on. Now we're coming up on the hour, but there's a few things I want to talk about, and you guys are ideally positioned for this. Because I want to put out some word about Art by Humans, because this is our debut magazine. We're celebrating art specifically created by humans, no generative AI stuff in there. We've got some fantastic work from Damian Torres, from Alexia Veldhausen, from Nick Capone, from Pete Vasquez, from Sandra Cole has a huge section in this book. Just some fantastic work all the way around that I'm really proud for people to see, and hope to do this at least annually. And if we can get mainstream distribution working out to where it's successful enough, we'll do biannual. But the key thing is, I think that there's a definite need for something that legitimately showcases uh, human artists. I'm seeing a lot of people, particularly in the TTRPG spaces right now, that are using AI generated artworks instead of hiring human artists. And we're seeing a lot of AI generated stuff on Kickstarter as well. So, what is your take on the need for other outlets that highlight and exclusively highlight human artists?
Go ahead, Ron.
It's a tough one because the reason why AI is being used is because of cost. And I've talked with other artists about like page rates, like the artists that live in like Brazil or Taiwan can charge less per page because the American dollar goes farther.
Right.
The problem is if you started charging if everyone around the world charged American rates, then about 3/4 of the projects would never get made. So a lot of these even TTRP books that are going out there, how many of them wouldn't get made if they had to pay an artist? So there's like the certain it's a kind of battle. Even if you can showcase your work, it's about cost effectiveness. It's about being able to, can they afford the page rate? How many people out there who are creating comic books can actually afford a $50 page rate for a pencil inker, and then have to turn around and pay another probably $50 for a colorist, $20 to $50 for a colorist, and then a letterer along those lines. And AI is filling that gap. Like I'm seeing commercials now on TikTok where it's like, my boyfriend wanted to be in a comic book, so now comic book creator AI I put the story in, put his picture in, and now it made me a comic book with him in it.
Yep.
And in a matter of like they said, like a matter of minutes. So
It's
one of those things where it is needed. It's just we're in a uphill battle with cost effectiveness and how many of these creators who are creating projects would disappear if the cost of it shot up through the roof to what it should be.
Right.
I'm able to do my books because I do everything. So it doesn't, like, the overhead cost for me is very small, except when it comes, when it comes to printing and stuff, I have to pay that stuff. But when it comes to actually making the books, it's just time for me. It's a tough one with AI because I don't necessarily like that it's taking jobs, but at the same time, though, it's just the reality of the situation too. So it's a tough one.
Pete, what are your thoughts on this?
I was very anti-AI, and I still am. However, you have to be a realist and understand that it's not going anywhere.
True.
So it's just not. So I could be Don Quixote. I could fight my windmill, or I could learn more about it and adjust. I'm not going to stop drawing or doing my thing, but I can realize, and that's why I've compartmentalized my art business from my day job and my bills and my life. So whereas if let's say I destroys my art business completely, I'll miss it. I'll still draw on my own, but it's not going to hurt me financially because I have my day jobs. So, so number one, there's that, because I have to be a realist. Number two, I think, Sam, you and I might be in the age bracket where AI may not hurt us as much by the time we're done. It's all said and done for us. It might be the next, millennials might feel it a little bit more. But I also realized, and there was, and you'll love this because it's very financial. I forget the guy's name, Dr. Barry or Dr. whatever, the guy who bet against the swaps for the housing market when that bubble burst.
Right. Yeah.
I forgot his name. The Big Short and those movies.
Right, The Big Short guy.
The guy who bet against the housing market and made hundreds of billions of dollars because of it. He's doing a similar thing.
Michael Burry.
Yeah, that's it. He's doing a similar thing with AI. He has been noticing that a lot of the people who are putting AI, that you're with a lot of the money behind AI isn't steady, because a lot of the ways it's been sold, it was just so get it out there, get it, because they were in such, it was such so the Wild West that AI was just thrown out there. It's gotten better and better, but still it's being thrown out there. So he thinks that bubble might burst where the prices will change for it, and he can make some more money off of it, which is good for us because it might give us a little bit of balance. But I really wish that once this technology was starting to come out, some laws could have been put in place to control it, which would have made it, because Warren's right, it's all about finances. The empty suits who run Marvel and DC don't care, because instead of hiring a bullpen or hiring this, they can, or even hiring a guy from Brazil, they can just make it themselves, right? With art they already own or whatnot. I wish there could have been some control, so it wouldn't have been the Wild West. And water always seems to find its own level, so we'll see what happens, but it's not going anywhere. It's just not. And it's, I'm not a huge fan. I mean, I like to draw my own shit, just like Warren does. But here we are. And
it's also, there's a question like, you make AI music for your intro on your YouTube because you can't afford it, or if I use AI to make descriptions for my YouTube, if I use AI to help me with marketing. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that even an artist can use AI for to help the load on, especially if they're doing, like me, who's a solo act. But at the same time, though, that's a marketer who doesn't get paid. That's a thumbnail designer. That's a lot of stuff that just doesn't, that goes around there. So it can integrate into the whole process, and you're going to see it on high end Marvel, DC, and you'll see it on low end independent guys. Like right now, some of the best campaign variant covers are AI covers and Kickstarter, because Kickstarter loves the sexy stuff, and you can create some pretty crazy sexy covers using AI, and you can do it with a couple prompts and not have to spend $1,000 on somebody So it's tough, because here's the thing too, is that the audience of the consumer doesn't care. Like if the consumer cared, then you do an AI cover for your Kickstarter and no one buys that variant cover. And people are all like, well, I'm not going to do that. No. Consumer doesn't care. Consumer doesn't know. They just see a sexy cover that they like. And even if you tell them it's AI, they're gonna turn around and buy it. Now, I
said that in the beginning, though, bro. I said that in the beginning when AI was a toy and they were making their babies into Batman, or, oh, my baby's a princess now, and stuff like that. Yeah. When it was a toy, I was saying that.
Yeah. And it's one of those things where if the consumer doesn't care, then you either get left behind or you start adapting and either get your artwork up to the point where you can compete, or where you can attract people who are going to pay for your services that can pay the amount that you need. So like if I get my artwork up to where Image is like, I like your stuff, and then they put my book out there, and then I can make a decent amount, or Marvel or along those lines, or a writer who has deep pockets and says, yeah, I have no problem paying you $80 a page for pencils and inks because of your talent and ability. But if you're not up to that point yet, and you're not getting the phone calls and people aren't talking to you, then yeah, you might get passed up by an AI cover artist or a person who just doesn't want to pay you to do their cover, and then they just do a bunch of AI covers because AI covers sell better than anything else.
Right.
I'm not going to tell anybody what to do in regards to that, but and exactly what Warren is saying, because it was the same thing. It was very similar when the whole digital stuff got to Warren. You work primarily digital. I work mostly traditional, but I transferred to digital, and I use digital for graphic design. So whatever. People, digital's cheating. You just press a button. It's not. Now that's not the same thing as what's happening with AI here.
Right.
But it's the same kind of like people not knowing what's going on. I've found, and like Warren said eloquently there, you have to find a happy medium, or at least a medium that you can be okay with. Like if you're making your own music for a Kickstarter, whatever, or a YouTube channel, whatever. If you you know it's as long as your core stuff is still you as an artist or whatever or creator, that's the core. And as long as you're not cheating yourself, then you got to do what you got to do. I mean, you might need that, Chat GPT to make a prompt for your videos, or for an email that you have to send to stuff to people, or whatever the case may be. But it's unfortunately an ugly truth. That's
Now,
part of the
one thing I
landscape
will
now.
say about the AI is that if you lean on it too much, then your stuff starts looking and sounding like everything else. Like
Yep.
if you use it too much to write to where it's writing out your scripts for you, then it's going to sound just like anyone else who's using it. If you're all of the covers that are use AI practically look like they're by the same artist. So
They do.
there is something about having, like, when someone sees Sig and Joe, that's not, that they're going to know that's not AI, and it's going to be unique because AI is just not doing that. It probably could, but no one's putting my artwork in there and saying I want to draw like Lunchbox, or I want to draw a coffee cup and cigarette like that. No, they want the sexy covers, they want that digital painted look, and it was the stuff that you would see from like a Shakiri or along those lines, and now you can get that through AI. But the problem is that everything starts looking the same. So there is a level of the dullness of the creativity of AI that will be something that will work in our favor, as because we can be way more creative than any AI. So that's one thing that has going for us, is that it's going to all start looking the same and getting kind of bland and uncreative, and then our stuff will stick out more because of it. Like Alexia's stuff would stand out like a glowing star compared to the garbage that some of these AI covers are doing.
Right.
Because she does that beautiful gray washed, hand painted stuff. So there is something about that too, where AI will never compete with the creativity.
That's definitely
that we can
Alexia
do.
Veldhausen.
Alexia's stuff is like one of those things where it'll stand out, and the beauty of
Warren
Lunchbox
Brown.
Warren. And no.
So, going to introduce an old friend of ours, someone who we haven't seen much lately because he's been hiding under the haze. Ladies and gentlemen, Phil Leon, the Electric Crayon. Phil, introduce yourself. Tell us who you are, what you do.
Phil Leon, colorist, editor, musician, man, many trades, master of none, all that good shit.
So make sure you post links where people can find you so they can get in contact with you and stuff. And we're gonna keep right in the discussion we're having because we're getting pretty productive on it. As far as like the AI stuff, I definitely agree that it's here to stay. I think we're gonna see a lot of it, not just in the arts, but of course in industry, transportation. A lot of people are saying this could be the beginning of the singularity and the end to a scarcity economy. And a birth of an age of abundance for everyone. And other people say it's the beginning of the dystopian era that we foresaw in Blade Runner. But regardless of which way it goes, I think that the facts on the ground right now is that AI is definitely having an impact, a negative impact for the most part, on the availability of paid work for artists. Now we've floated a few numbers around here, and I don't want to confuse some of the audience here because we've mentioned like $50 page rates for like line art and such. We actually increased our page rates for Sinopa this year. The guys who are doing work already know that, of course, but our line art rate is $200 a page, and our coloring rate a page is $100 a page. So with a few people making a little bit more than that, like Nick Capone, for example, think, hey, look, it's an orange cat being orange.
Meow.
So we're trying to pay the best rates we can, but our overall page rate construction was $250 per page, right? Fully done between line art, colors, and letters and everything, editorial and all that. And we're now a little over $400 per page. Trying to make sure that we're paying people at least enough so that they're not starving. You know what I mean? And for the guys in Brazil and the guys in the Philippines and the stuff, We don't have any of those guys doing work for us right now. We do have a guy in Brazil who's probably going to be doing some translation work for us, translating and lettering into Brazilian Portuguese. He also does Spanish translations, and we'll pay him the same rates that we pay the American guys, just like we have for our map maker who's out in Basque. So we try to make sure that when people are doing the work, they're getting paid. I'm gonna fly that flag as high as I can so that people know that the rule is, if we commission you, you're getting paid. Now, that having been said, Pete volunteered a lot of content for Art by Humans because we'd already gotten all the art in and such. Pete's going to get a stack of comps when we get that press run, so Pete's going to have stuff to make money with. We always make sure people get paid. So.
Look, I'm gonna have to start charging Brazilian prices to try to get anybody to hire me anyway for anything. So,
and see that's worrisome to me. That's really worrisome to me because especially with like economic pressures are one thing, but then replacing people with a prompt written thing, that's another entirely. Now, as far as uses,
I don't think I'm getting replaced by AI. I think people just don't like my shit, so that's fine. I don't make my, but it's okay because I don't make my shit for people to like. If you're seeing my stuff, it means I like it. I don't care if you like it or not.
Right?
Hell yeah. Now I guess I'll add in ready for the barrage. It's not just artists that are going to be affected by AI, and it's more than just jobs. It's also environmental. One of these data centers eats up enough power of a small city. This is not going to be sustainable. We're all going to be paying for this in the end. I hate to be doom and gloom about it.
Berry, see, that's exact what Phil is saying. Exactly what Dr. Berry is literally hedging his bets against.
Right. I do have some good news in that regards, though, because there's a push for really three of the big financiers who are behind this kind of stuff are looking to start putting data centers up into orbit. Well, I mean, that's just how it's going to happen, right? So they'll be solar powered. They won't have the environmental impact on Earth. They'll be at a slightly higher orbit than what you see like for Starlink. So they won't be
take care of the cooling issue then, I suppose.
Yeah, they'll use the same ventilation, the same radiative cooling system they use on the International Space Station. And then they'll have much larger solar arrays that will provide the power that's needed. So what you'll get is this capability to run immense amount of processing power just by maintaining those satellites. Now, the other thing too is that they won't be as subject to failure. So you won't have as big a task on your terrestrial power grids. You'll be able to move data across the map much easier, that kind of thing.
Here's my question.
If they go rogue, though, they're going to kill. It'll be harder for us to fight them because they're going to be docked in space.
Yeah.
Fucking Lex Luthor.
So here's the thing, man. If we can barely produce enough solar energy for anything here now, and these data centers will take up as much as a small city, how are they going to accommodate for that in space and solar panels?
Well, space solar energy is easier to get. Like the Chinese are talking about building solar panels in space because you get more percentage of the original solar energy because it's not being filtered through the atmosphere. So actually, solar energy in space is way, way, way more efficient. Because some of the future talks is actually building power plants in space to send the power down because it's just 100 times more efficient in space with solar energy.
And some figures say as much as 300% higher. So the other thing too, though, Phil, I hate to cut you off, but the thing about this is that these guys are not going to do that if it's not financially equitable.
Right.
So the space concerns on that, with the current rate with the Falcon 9, you could probably send up one small data center core and then just assemble them through a couple of multiple launches. That shouldn't be a problem. With the Starship coming up, you should be able to load pretty much a whole data center core 5 meters, 6 meters across, and put out its solar array, and then have that thing up and running. Probably within 36 hours, and by that point you're ready to launch another one. So there's a lot on the near horizon for that I think that is going to, of course, help the environmental impact be mitigated. It's also going to, in the long run, reduce costs because all of a sudden you don't have that huge impact on the grid. So right now in Pennsylvania, for example, they're seeing huge skyrocketing energy costs, and a lot
Yeah.
of that is due to data center
Mhm.
sucking up so much power. When you move these things off planet, when you move them off world, and you have just that raw solar energy from the biggest fusion reactor within 4 light years, I think there's a lot to be said for that. And, just like anything with space, we tend to learn as we push our technology, and who knows what we'll develop as a byproduct of that. But for right now, you're very, very correct. I would expect that probably within 3 years, we'll see the launch of the first small data center as a proof of concept launch. I definitely expect it before 2030, but I would say within the next 3 years easily.
Yeah, between NASA and Elon, they're getting cost per launch is dropping massively. So it's going to be
Right.
pretty economical to be able to launch large rockets up there and build space stations, power centers, data centers, whatever they need.
So
Right.
they put up one. They're putting up one for a test, but how long does it take before it gets incorporated? And how long are they going to be building them here before they decide to start doing it in space? And
Well,
the thing
that's
is, without regulating out how all this, how is it going to be? How's it not going to be too late to put these things in check to make sure we are moving forward with technology the proper way?
there isn't a government on earth that could oversee all the AI development. Every nation is approaching their AI development entirely differently. The Chinese
shouldn't it be a coalition then, like we do with anything else? Like, hey, we need to get on the
We-
same
we-
page because
we-
this is not gonna fare well.
I'll point out that we could not successfully regulate how to deal with COVID amongst all the nations. We will never be able to agree on something that will make someone money.
Yeah, this is the new our generation's nuclear race. Essentially,
Yeah.
they're trying to build the
Yeah,
next
it is.
atom bomb, which is going to be the quantum AI, and whoever perfects that first is going to be light years ahead of everyone else. So it's almost impossible to get the genie back into the bottle, or even get the genie under control at this point. It's just almost like a dam that's broke, and you're just trying to control the flow of water the best you can.
And Jeff
Control the
Bezos
flow of water all up into the top of the pyramid, which I kind of
And-
feel this is a big pyramid scheme
and-
if you look at it, man.
And Jeff Bezos, for the last 20 something years, has been arguing for moving industry off planet to negate the negative environmental impact. And Elon Musk is talking about, when moving production to lunar activity to build chips and harvest resources and prepare humanity to move a settlement to Mars. I mean, the next 20 years are going to be freaking mind blowing, guys. And, all of us are a little bit older, Warren being the youngest of the four here. How's that feel, Warren? How many times have you been the youngest anywhere, huh, bro?
Not lately. Today I was at work with everyone, and I was like the oldest by like 6 years. So
Yeah,
I'm
it's
gonna
gonna
make
keep
you feel
getting
better. When I'm at work, I'm the oldest by 30.
Damn,
Yeah, I'm so unhappy
You
sometimes.
young pups, you.
Phil,
Look, here's the thing.
Phil's almost as old as I am.
Phil's 5,000 years old.
5,000
Phil,
years.
Phil babysat Jesus.
Well, here's another question with or it's not really another question, but it's definitely suitable. They're using it as a replacement for everything. I mean, I feel it's been overhyped where they got to feel like they got to jam it into everything, and that's part of the issue. The other issue
That'll
is
go away
now
after a
with the
while.
reports I've been seeing on the new robotics and AI added into robotics and putting them in placement. There's not going to be jobs for people anywhere.
Right.
If this goes without, if they do not put up guardrails, there isn't going to be anybody to pay for their crap.
And then we get into the
And then
economic
if the bubble
theories.
bursts, also if the bubble bursts, like predicting, because they are not making money. This is a bunch of the tech companies buying stock off of each other to keep it propped up. It's looking like an artificial market. You know,
Dr.
and
Barry said that.
the
That's
issue
why he's
is
betting
these
against
companies are buying each other's stock just to keep it hyped
Hey,
and
Larry,
keep
what's
it
up,
up
man?
there. So, you know, what do we do in this case? If there's nobody standing up to put things into place to keep it from getting out of hand any farther than what it already is, what are we going to be left with? I mean, it's not looking like it's going to be a good road to go down. The only people it's going to be good for is the top tech pros.
Well, that's
now
the thing, Phil. That's why. Wait, really quick, and yes, Phil, you if what you say goes through, absolutely, I agree with you. But the good news is there is someone with experience. Again, we talked about you before. I keep saying Dr. Barry. He's the guy who bet against the mortgage market when the Big Short, when he knew that the mortgage loans and all that stuff was doing basically exactly what you're saying right now. And then when the housing market failed, he made billions of dollars as a hedge fund. He actually recently closed his hedge fund because now he's buying and against, he's basically betting against the guys that you're talking about, the pyramid guys, the tech bros, all those guys, saying that they're doing exactly what you think they're doing, and that he's expecting that bubble, and he said it, the AI bubble will burst and come crashing down the way the housing market did.
Yeah.
So you should probably look up you should look up Dr. Michael Barry.
Yeah, I'm going to, and that's also another point in hand is if it bursts again, we've seen this before without keeping regulations up on things, banking.
Yes.
Corporate.
Well,
we're going to end up paying for all this crap when it all comes crashing down with the money that we're not making because they've been
the relevant regulation on this
everything.
isn't so much regulation on AI as it is the financing regulation, and so that because that's where the money aspect comes into it. And I mean, a lot of you got to remember too, like they're sticking AI, especially Microsoft and Google, sticking AI features into everything, and that's in part they're using that to learn, but the other part is they're trying to market that because they have to monetize this somewhere. This isn't like me or you sitting here making a comic and throwing a couple $100 into the project ourselves to get it made. We're talking about companies that are spending billions with a B, billions of dollars into R&D and development to try and build these artificial intelligence models, and then trying to figure out where the market is. I think that maybe they should actually take a look at what the need is and then build to that rather than build the model and find the market. You see what I'm saying? It's like for Tesla, their AI is focused about driving, right? They know what they want to do. They want the AI to drive. That's the thing. The same thing with the humanoid robot. They want it as assistant. Like for me, I have a mother who's in her 70s. I would love to get her a robot to help her around the house. I think that's a great idea. That's a need that can cover. And then also her transportation and my brother's transportation needs. An autonomous car that fits that fine. But just building AI just to build AI and then try and find some way to use that to sell to people, I think is a fool's errand. I think a lot of people are making mistakes in that. They need to find a need that needs to be filled, something that needs to be replaced either to enhance human safety or otherwise enhance human quality of life, and then go from there. And while we're still at it, guys, Larry Patrick Higgins, Niobe Comics. Tell everyone who you are and what you do, brother.
Who's your daddy and what does he do? Well, his name was Mr. Higgins, and he worked at Midas Muffler for about 30 years. Yeah.
So, guys, for those of you who don't know, Larry's the creator of Niobe Comics. Frequently is kind enough to have me on his streams and his shows. He's been really good to me over the years. Appreciate you. We all know him and got a good deal of respect for his product out. Niobe is a fantastic comic nut.
You don't need to butter me up, Sam. It's all good, brother.
Everyone gets the same treatment, Larry. Go ahead and make sure you post a link to your eBay store in the chat so that people can go ahead and
need moderator rights for that.
No, you don't.
Yeah, I do. If you want to post a link in someone else's YouTube, you have to be a mod. It will not show up otherwise.
It should let you post it in the chat with the setting I have. All right. Well, let me see what I can do for you. Okay.
No, it's okay, brother. I'm just here because you sent the invite. I literally was flipping through Facebook, saw that you're on, so gave you a shout out, and then next thing you know, I got a link. So,
well, I figured come on out and join the discussion because we're having the AI conversation. We're actually a little past our 1 hour window, but it's okay. We're having a good conversation.
There's never going to be a robot in this house because I know it's going to be the fucking iRobot Will Smith situation, bro. You know what I mean? I'm going to have to go out and kill a bunch of robots to save the universe.
But here you're talking about Microsoft wanting to jam it into stuff. They're starting to already feel repercussions of that. People are saying screw Windows 11 because of that and reverting back to Windows 10. They're having
Great, and then your
push
Windows
back
10
in
has no
Microsoft.
support, and when you get fucked up, you have no one to go to.
Well, they've
Yeah.
got you over a barrel that way, and that's how they're going to keep it. Now, the other thing too is a lot of people are going to start moving away. More people, I should say, are going to move away from Windows platforms.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Linux.
there's going to be AI incorporated to every platform. If you're using a smartphone right now, congratulations, you're using AI. You may not think it, but it's built in. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And I think there gets to be some confusion sometimes too between AI and algorithms. Some of the stuff that people say AI is nothing more than algorithms that we've had around. There is a difference between the two.
Right, but
Now we're calling everything AI, no matter what, as long as it's, hey, it did a thing for me. It's AI. You know.
Well, look, it ain't going anywhere. It's only going to get better. It's only going to get stronger. It's only going to grow. You know, this is a debate that we've been having between all of us for a number of, well, since its conception, since it's been around, right?
Yeah.
And if you look at it, if you look at what Grok Imagine can do, you look at one of my YouTube intros, it fucking elevated that intro from 1 to 100 overnight.
And look at the music videos that Max is putting out. The visual elements of those are all comprised from, you know, Max's AI prompts. He's writing lyrics, and then I think that he's having the music generated by AI.
Oh, I know exactly how Max has done it because I taught him how to do it. We went into Suno way back last year, made a bunch of crappy AI songs, right? Had Grok write the lyrics and then modify it from there. Don't you know, that's
no,
how
I mean,
stuff, I'll give you a little
doing
down on that. The new stuff, some of that is filmed. He's using AI only for the effects and transitions.
Mm-hmm.
The music he has been writing back to old school DAWs, and he has a vocalist guy that's doing the vocals over the top of that.
I know he's writing the lyrics.
Well, here's the thing with Suno.
Yeah.
When we were using it, it was like version 3 or 3.5. Mm-hmm. The free version now is 4.5. And just for its basic functionality, you can make songs that sound pro as fuck. You don't even have to pay for it to make it sound pro. I made a brand new song from my Niobe show, and man, it sounds like I hired a K-pop band to do it, you know?
We've already got people putting out AI generated albums on Spotify.
Dude,
you know, so it's wild times we live in.
And you know what? It's crap.
People are buying it, man.
So redundant.
There are AI remakes of like Cyndi Lauper and Madonna and all this stuff that sounds better than the original.
I'll tell you though, a lot of people are going to get sued from the shit they're doing. It's just going to take a while for the lawyers to catch up to it.
Yeah, the writers
10, 20 years before they make laws concerning that.
There's been
in the US, yeah, probably at least 20 years.
Well, like look what Max was showing me his music videos for his newest album that his friends did the lyrics and the music for. So I mean, they did the music, they did the everything. They go to a warehouse. He films some stuff and then puts it into an AI and it generates a whole music video for him.
Sure does.
Special effects, all of it, and it looks impressive as hell.
You guys seen the Star Wars stuff that's out there?
The Luke Skywalker,
and the Darth Vader one, and stuff.
Yeah,
that is stuff that should be incorporated into canon.
Well, what's going to happen? What you're going to happen is you're going to see like video game companies. They'll have like a team of creative heads, and then all of the grunt work is going to be done by AI.
Oh, 100%. I mean, there's lots of games that are AI influenced now. Grand Theft Auto 6 has an AI element into it where all the NPCs are controlled by AI, so they act differently and do differently depending on your interactions with them and the environment that's happening at that time. It's that big. That's why Grand Theft Auto is taking over 600 gigabytes of hard drive space.
But that's a different sort of AI. Like I said, it's confused with algorithms. We've had that in games forever before the big AI craze. It's
no. It is AI. You're going to be talking to an NPC like you're talking with Chat GTP.
And the thing is, there's been such a pushback from the gaming community of gaming.
Doesn't matter. It's not going to. There's been a pushback from
the
the
if they're not going to make money
because
if they're not going to make money because people are like, "Fuck you,"
there was a pushback on digital. Remember when digital became a thing, digital art? Oh, that's ruining traditional art. And people fought it for 10 years. And now it's the norm for everyone. It's no different.
Well, it is different because all that was taking traditional skills and
But
putting
people
it
didn't
into,
know that. What people thought was the
Yeah.
computer is doing all the work for you.
Right, but that's the over time people had end up going, hey, look, let's show you how this is really done. It's not push a button like AI is. Digital and AI are two separate freaking things, man, not to be confused.
Sure, but
A
the
lot of
comparison
people know-
remains the same. People complain about it. Now everyone that complained about it 15 years ago are all using it, right? It's become part of their everyday life for art. In
Okay.
15 years from now, AI is going to be right there along with it.
So, guys, I'm going to interrupt real quick because I know Pete's got to go.
No,
Pete,
no, yeah. I got
thank you
stuff
so
going
much,
on.
bro. Hey, again, where can people find you?
I put my link tree in the chat. Tuesday the 20th, I will be at the Hot Flips show here in Babylon, Long Island. I'll be there. Buzz the Artist is going to be there. Walt Simonson's going to be there. Al Mingram's going to be there. There's this guy. There's Billy from Brooklyn Toys is going to be there. He has his table always kills me because it's like all the toys I wish I still had and cheap. So it's like Jesus Christ. And yeah, it's just a fun time. And we do a charity auction that raises money because we hold it in the VFW. So we do a charity auction to raise money for the VFW so they can stay open and keep providing all those wonderful services to our veterans in the area.
Outstanding.
Nice.
Pete Vasquez, ladies and gentlemen, give him a hand and make sure you check out him on Twitch. Make sure you see him at his conventions.
Tomorrow night at 10. Maybe later. I don't know. It depends on how this edible does. And also February 7th, out here on Long Island and Bayshore, the Indie Art Show I organize. We have 24 really cool people, artists, makers. I got some tarot readers. I have people. Sam, you're gonna love this. I have one dice maker, and
sweet.
I have one guy that makes the trees and the rocks and the grass for Warhammer and Dungeons and Dragons type stuff. TC, things like that. And I have one TCG person, so it's gonna be a lot of fun.
Outstanding. Pete, thanks for joining me. Thanks for being the first person to ever come up on this live stream, man.
I'm number one. Like, is Poop 1 or 2?
2.
Depends on who you ask.
It says, life is a couch. Talk to y'all later.
Later, Pete.
Guys, we normally schedule an hour for this, but we're at an hour 37. I want to thank you guys out for coming on out. And let's do a quick little thing around here. Make sure that everyone knows who you are, what you're doing. We'll start with Lunchbox, who was our second person on. Warren, lay it on. Tell everyone what you're doing, what you got coming up next.
I got my YouTube page I'm building up called at Lunchbox Comics. I'm working on finishing up the graphic novel for the first 4 issues of Sig and Joe, which I should have in print hopefully by the end of February. I'm finishing up the last thing right now, which is the cover. Also, if you want to read my comic book, you can find all 4 issues on Global Comics, which, in my opinion, if you like reading digital comics, Global Comics is the best comic book app in America to do that. And all 4 issues are on there for free until the end of the January, and then you'll have to have a subscription to be able to read them. Yeah, I've got catch me on my YouTube channels. I'll be doing live draws. I do shorts every day with my health journey, and I also am doing comic book review shows and spotlight shows where I put a spotlight on stuff that I'm reading. So everything right now is going pretty strong, and just follow me on there.
Cool. Don't forget to check out the manga I told you about. Okay. Don't forget to check out that campfire cooking one. All right, Phil.
Hi, man. My name's Phil Leon, man. I'm the Electric Crayon, man. You can catch me on Facebook, man.
I also put out that Warren does a good panel show. I caught one the other day where they ranked all the Kevin Smith movies. That was really cool. Dug that.
Yep.
Well, look, I'll give Warren a shout out right now because I have Ninja High School 200 in my hand with his. You got it, right? Yeah, there you go.
Right here.
Yep. Good job. And then my story follows right after his. So there you go, folks.
Okay, as far as for me, man, I'm finishing up Escape the Mortars right now. We're down to the final bits of that and getting that wrapped up. Just did a cover for the Holiday Spirits monster issue that's still up in Kickstarter. Mm-hmm. I am getting prepared to do a little bit of stuff over at Boneyard, it looks like. I'll be talking to Hart soon, some stuff to do with Bill the Bull. Other than that, I still do have openings if anybody needs any cover color work or sequentials, pinups, one-offs. And I also do editorial work. I've probably worked on like, what, about 5-6 books now as editorial, man. That just kind of keeps happening. Thanks, Warren and Larry, for trusting in my
you just hold tight because you never
my
know when I
written
need to call
skills.
on you.
And I also set up things for pre-press if anybody needs that, you know, so get everything ready so it'll print right for you and look right when you get your book.
Sometimes I feel like I'm working too much. I do that myself.
Yeah.
Affinity is great for that now. Just get Affinity.
So
just use AI, Sam.
The guy making the Art by Humans magazine is not going to be.
Can you fucking imagine?
I don't think AI would. I don't know about format. I wouldn't trust AI to format my fucking shit. Oops,
yeah, not yet.
My language.
Look, so, AI is actually a really good proofreader. It will correct your spelling mistakes. It will correct your grammar. Right?
Even though it don't really, I wouldn't trust it.
It does really. Dude, when was the last time you fucked with an AI program?
It really does.
It can't even tell you how many R's are in strawberry, man. I wouldn't trust it.
Yeah, a lot's changed since, like even 6 months ago, bro. You know what I mean?
I've gotten good use on, spelling corrections from a couple of different AIs that have, caught my, double entries for the and stuff like that.
What about grammar?
Does the same thing.
Yeah, depending on, well, there's dialectic differences across the United States particularly. So if you're writing to a dialect, it'll try and correct things. Like if you have common turns of phrase in like the American Southwest that means something entirely different in like Alabama, then you got, as a writer, you have to make sure that you're checking that.
Phil, I'm going to give you the AI challenge, and here's how it goes. Last night, I finished writing Niobe Outbreak number 5, right? I ran it through the AI to proofread it, to give me spelling and grammar corrections, to dot the I's and cross the T's. You're going to be the next person to see it. So it'll be up to your human eyes to figure out what mistakes, if any, that the AI has made.
This is the John Henry.
I bet there'll be commas. I bet there'll be commas that need.
You and your commas.
Always find commas, Phil.
Commas. That's the most common one I've seen.
The problem with AI, it likes to use a lot of M dashes, and you got to take those out.
Yeah. But the commas, man, that is the most out of anybody when you're doing your books and stuff. Keep an eye on that because that is the most common across the board with everybody that I see is missing commas.
So, Larry.
Yeah.
Let everyone know what you got coming. If you got links to your eBay store, or you got, is your Kickstarter in pre-launch yet?
Well, I'll give you the short notes. It's like I said, Outbreak 5 was finished last night as far as writing it. I'm like, when I get off here later tonight, I'm gonna do a quick little Twitch stream, play some Rivals, blow off some steam, and then I'm going to go through the script one last time, add some reference photos to it, and then it goes off to Juan, and he's going to draw 3 or 4 pages, and we're going to launch a Kickstarter with those pages and the covers we got done, hopefully Valentine's Day for Outbreak 5, where we, like Cody Rhodes, we will finish the story.
Nice.
And then you're going to fire up Steam, right?
Steam. I have Steam already.
Gaming. That's what I said.
Gotcha.
But there's more news than that, though. For those that don't know, I mean, Sam knows and Phil knows, but maybe Warren knows too. But I'm back with Antarctic Press. So Niobe is coming back to shops once we get Outbreak 5 done. 4 and 5 will be released in succession. The Superverse team up starring Niobe with Tomorrow Girl Penguina is also coming to shops now with my blessing. And Savage Sin will also be coming to Antarctic Press. So basically the sensei called me up on New Year's, said, welcome back, and gave me carte blanche to basically do whatever I want there. And I only answered to him. That was the rule. He says, you don't talk to any of the other editors. My brother, all he does is pay you. You go through me and me only. I said, perfect.
There you go. That single point of contact is a valuable interface. So, and guys, for all of you who are sticking around this long, thanks for staying, because we're quite a bit beyond our normal span here. Again, we've got Art by Humans coming out. We'll be posting our links to the pre-launch page after we're approved. Again, we're celebrating the creation of art by humans for human people to enjoy. And I hope you guys will come check that out. And we will also soon after that be releasing Reign of Ages, issue number 4.
Rock of
And then
Ages.
crowdfunding that through Kickstarter, of course, for the press run and to help pay for our lettering. And then we will also be doing Tibby and her time traveling psychedelic mushrooms issues 2, which we're going to need a lot of help with, folks, because that's a kind of a hefty book. And we are going back in time to a well-regarded music festival in 1969, little place in New York.
We're going to Woodstock, baby.
Which is trademarked by someone else, so that's not where we're going. We don't infringe on other people's trademarks. But
Oh, you mean you're not the Wheelers? There you go.
I have a religious thing I'm not going to say right now. Anyway,
In the words of the prophet.
yeah.
I'm
First-
sorry, Sam. I didn't mean to bring that up.
Yeah, thank you.
I mean, we're ending now anyway, right? So
Yeah, I've got a song somewhere that is ringing in my head right now. Anyway.
I bet you do.
Oh, damn it. Okay, so sorry, everybody. Anyway, we're also going to, after that, we're bringing 47 Furious Tales, issue 4, followed by Necroholic, issue 4, or we might do those the other way around. Necroholic, issue 4 is almost done, whereas 47 is not. So we might end up doing Necroholic 4 right after Reign 4. And of course, then by the end of this year, we want to have Reign of Ages, issue 5 done as well, which will close out the Blood and Stone arc, which is our introductory arc. And then we will start shopping for distribution once we have that full thing ready. Ladies and
You know
gentlemen,
where I'm going to point you.
I have a pretty good feeling where you're going to point me. But I'll tell you guys this. We've been in business since 2017. It's thanks to the people who we've befriended, who have helped us overcome a lot of different challenges, who's given us their insights, which is a great way to kind of pull together talents and address common problems, get different feedback, and learn from each other in a really healthy way, I think. So while it does take a community to raise a child, sometimes it also takes a community to make a comic or get a TTRPG book out. So remember to encourage your local artists, whether they are painting graffiti on the walls or they're going to art school for the 6th time in their life, because we want humans to be able to express themselves, want them to be strong in their abilities to create and bring new things to the world. So as always, when we close this out, we're going to say, hey, for all of you, make sure you're taking good care of yourself. Stay hydrated. Take your medication if you need any. Watch your health. Take care of yourself. Love those who love you. And remember, in a world where you can be anything, please do choose to be kind. Thank you guys for being here. I appreciate you. You guys are freaking awesome.
Man, it's amazing how you have that all memorized.
Well, I've been doing this a little bit now.
Just a
God
little bit.
bless everybody out there.
Hell yeah.
I feel like this
You
is the
said
end of
you
a
could
Charlie
start
Brown
right in
show.
front of
God
them.
bless everyone.
Sir, for real, God bless everybody. Definitely indeed. Oh, and I guess one last thing. For all of you who are watching this still, man, you guys are gluttons for punishment, but I love you. We don't talk a lot politics and stuff on my channels. I just don't do that. But as a little boy, I can very much remember the Iranian hostage crisis and everything going on in Iran. My absence of commenting on that is not a product of not having an opinion. It's a product of being focused on what I'm doing, which is trying to bring joy to everyone I can reach through comic books, role-playing games, and the art that we commission artists to make. So don't confuse silence with a lack of an opinion. It's just me staying in my lane to try and do what I do best. So I hope you'll understand that. Thanks for that PSA.
Oh yeah.
All right, gentlemen, I'll catch you on the next one.
Took
Right.
you later.